All right, welcome back, fans. It is a beautiful evening here at Edor Nelson Field as Edgewater Castle visit Minneapolis for the first time. The Crows are top of the division, perfect in their first 6 games, while Edgewater Castle have had ups and downs this summer, with 2 recent downs, a 4-0 loss at RKC Third Coast and a 7-1 loss to Riverlight. I'm here with my Stegman's teammate and dear old friend Andy Delane because John Bisworm has decided that he's out of here. Tonight we're going to announce this one. This is going to be a fun one, Andy. Edgewater Castle, they're a dangerous side, though there's very little margin for error here in the regular season in USL League 2, so City are going to have to be very careful.
Yeah, and that's what makes this so much fun. Minneapolis City have looked balanced, confident, and tough to break down, while Edgewater come here, swinging, and they're going to be a tough one. They've had some tough games. They had a good comeback. And so it's going to be a good matchup tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing Edgewater for the first time.
Same. So let's kind of catch everyone up on how these two got here. Minneapolis City come in on a 6-match League 2 heater. This is the best that the Crows have started a season since 2021. They had a huge 2-1 win against Sueño. They had a 3-1 away win at Rockford Raptors, and then a rescheduled game against Rochester. So not only has it been 6 wins in a row, but 2 recent big ones. We had a midweek draw here Wednesday in the Super Cup that kept City undefeated. They won Group A, but the heat is on now to keep this run going and win the division.
Yeah, I look to hopefully see City get back to that free-swinging, high-intensity game. And, this is Edgewater Castle's first season in the USL League 2, and they have overwhelmingly held their own, albeit with blips like their 7-1 drubbing at the hands of Riverlight the last time out. Before that, they were beaten 4-0 at RKC Third Coast. So they've been skidding a little bit since their 3-2 comeback win against Rochester. They're in 8th place with 2 wins and 5 losses.
And so we look at the division table here on the screen right now. You get City kind of running away right now at the top. Edgewater Castle down there at the bottom with Rochester. But like you said, Andy, they've had some wins. They've been tough to break down. In a lot of ways, this has trap game written all over it, unless City can do City things. So let's talk about the players to watch, Andy.
Yeah, so tonight's player to watch, sponsored by Fathead Bill's, the new spot for smash burgers, and also don't forget those Joey wings.
Love them.
In downtown Minneapolis. And so tonight's player to watch is Alex Moreno.
Oh, I'm really excited to watch Moreno. Big game moments for him, right? When goals are needed, Moreno has come through. He had that Golazo winner against Sueño last time out. That shows his quality and his ability to shine when the lights are the brightest. The pressure is going to be on here, right? Because City need to keep this going to wrap the playoffs, wrap the division title. They need Moreno to stay really hot. I'd also say, right now you're going to see him higher up on the pitch. Coach John Forsythe has him up in the attack as opposed to his familiar role in midfield. He's a sharp passer. He's got great movement. He's got an eye for goal. Hey, just how much impact can he have on the pitch today? We're going to see when he's up in the attack. And finally, share the wealth. One of the things we've seen is, Nathan Donovan, Dr. Goals, has been grabbing the headlines, but we've had 11 different goal scorers here in Minneapolis with 11 different players providing his assists. It's a balanced attack, and now it has one of City's best passers in it. Moreno has a real chance to keep spreading the wealth through the Crows as they look to score the goals that are going to drive them home to victory.
All right, now let's talk about those keys to victory. And our keys to victory tonight are sponsored by Twin Cities Orthopedics. Minneapolis City is in good hands with our longtime sports medicine partner. Learn more about them at tcomn.com.
So when we look at the keys to victory, we want to control the tempo. I could say control the temp, right? Because what's going to happen in a game like this is City are going to look to dictate the pace. They're going to look to dictate the heat of the games. Experienced players through the spine of the team, Jason Ramos, Jake Swallen, Nathan Donovan up top. They've got to pick the right moments to go. They've got to get this game under City control. They need to make sure this is a City game. That's tied to that second one. Got to stay focused. Edgewater Castle, they're a dangerous team, Andy. They're no strangers to a comeback. The Crows have to keep their focus. I'm going to sound like I'm one of those NFL announcers here in the National Football League. Look, this could be one of those games where if you lose your focus for a second, the teams, the players, the opponents are always so good that they can really do some damage. City has to stay sharp. Final key to the game, calling it the Wolfpack, TM. Crows have been ruthless in front of goal. Right? They have 24 goals in 6 games, and it's come from a ton of different players, both scoring and providing. It's a swarming attack. It overwhelms defenses. It comes from everyone. That's the Wolfpack. It needs a name, and that's it. And because City have the potential to eat up the visitors if they keep attacking as a unit. So that's what we're looking at today. We gave you the Heartland snapshot a little bit earlier, but City up top, they need 9 points to clinch the playoffs. Before we take a little break here, I'm going to take over John Bisworm's usual USL League 2 message. I'm going to try not to trip over it. We'll see how hard this really is, sports fans. This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League. How was that?
Perfect.
Love it. All right, we will take a little break. When we're back, we'll be watching some soccer. Sorry, I screwed that one up. All right, welcome back. I'm Dan Hudeman. I'm here with Andy Delane. Andy, let's take a look at the starting lineups, and they're sponsored by our friends at Athletic Brewing, a fresh, refreshing, very beer-tasting NA beer. Andy, why don't you show us who Edgewater Castle is starting with?
Sure. So starting back in goal, we've got Joseph Galante, number 99. Across the back line for Edgewater, there's David Shalik, number 18. Number 5, Quinton Benedetto. Number 4, Takiro Chiba. Number 5, Lucas Samson. And then across the midfield, number 8, Chris Chavez. Number 25, Alan Alonso. And number 17, Herbert Carrera. And then on the wings and up top, they've got number 22, Stefan Momcilovic.
That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. Number 9, Rudis Lawal. And number 10, Rui Miguel Borges Reese.
Minneapolis City, on the other hand, they're going to have a number of familiar names. We got Daniel Sessler between the sticks, a fairly standard back three of Islam Husni, Jason Ramos, and Dubem Obilo. Jake Swallen and Jeloni Murray-Powell are going to be your center midfielders. They'll be flanked by the always dangerous Phil Caputo on the left and Caleb Capone, fresh off a goal-scoring appearance midweek in the Super Cup. And then up top, striker Nathan Dr. Goals Donovan. He'll be flanked by Hakeem Morgan on the right and Alex Moreno, our player to watch, on the left. Andy, I'm excited for this one as we're nearing kickoff. If you're sitting here in Coach John Forsyth's shoes for City, Andy, how do you approach a game like this?
Well, I think number one is you just got to look past what happened on Wednesday night. You know, same club, different lineup, and I think you see some of the regulars here tonight, and so just throw that tape from Wednesday in the trash and just play your game, play your attacking, pressing style with some swagger. I like to see, I think what I was telling John on Wednesday, it's nice to see City playing with that swagger that they've been playing with this season.
Well, I think you're right, and that's one of those things when we talked about the things to watch, and I call it the Wolf Pack, because everything needs a name. But you're right, when they swagger, when they work together, when they're really getting up and at opposing teams, really, really hard to play, and especially early. Edgewater Castle's never been to Edor Nelson Field before. It's a different type of environment. It's louder, it's smaller, it's weird in all the best ways. Yeah, swaggerous start would be pretty fun to watch. The Crows will be kicking off. They'll be going from left to right on your screen.
All right, game is underway. Crows start with the ball.
And we've seen them be really patient with the ball. But then Ramos goes long, right as I say that. And that's been difficult for teams to work with. They can be patient, 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 but they're willing to hit that diagonal from anywhere. And we saw it from Ramos, the veteran center back. Capone tackled well.
I'd like to see an early goal here, just like we've been seeing in a lot of the World Cup games. Early goals have led to good things happening for teams.
Swollen so clean on the ball, and then Moreno swings it wide.
Good pressure by number 9, Lawal, for Edgewater, but no one helping him out.
Obilo finds, oh, love that from Capone, but Morgan tackled off the ball. Capone finding Morgan, who finds Capone somehow. Driving just over that little slide tackle there.
Yeah, number 5, Benedetto, with a slide there, and somehow didn't touch the ball at all, just kind of put himself in the way of any cross.
Look, whatever you got to do as a defender, I suppose.
Yeah.
I got to say, Galante, the goalkeeper, he kind of looks like, you know, one of those hard candies.
I was gonna say I like the look.
Yeah, I do too. It just I want something sweet right now.
I mean, between our 2 keeper jerseys, I think we got a matchup of who's sweeter looking.
Ball's back to Ramos. And Murray Powell. Murray Powell's making his first start here for a while. He was excellent for Rochester last season. Gives the ball away, though.
This time, Edgewater's been able to get a spell of possession here. Let's see what they can do with it.
Murray Powell wins it back. Moreno.
And the ref's in the way.
Come on, ref.
And he hears it from the Crows supporters.
Ref makes it all proper and official, and here we go again. The Citizens are in good voice early, Andy, as Obilo launches it forward to Donovan. Galante bobbles, but he hauls it in. That was a little speculative.
Yeah, you know, good first touch for him, considering the sun is right in his eyes. And
Capone does a nice job there. We've yet to see, I mean, it's early, right? We're still in the first 5 minutes, but we've yet to see much from that Edgewater Castle midfield. So they'll be looking to get engaged. Donovan knocked over, but he's back up on the ball. Continues to drive forward. Just enough from Benedetto to get back to Galante, who wellies it out of here. Misses on 94, though.
yeah, it looked like Donovan just was one, you know, maybe perfect touch to get through the defense there.
Oh, bad giveaway there from Obilo. Losing to using his pace, but all he can do is toe poke it out. Borges Reese did a nice job of making it a little bit awkward for him. The ball wins it over Ramos. Let's see, you're able to hack it clear. Moreno slows it down. Nice interchange from Caputo and Swallen. That's free to Murray Powell. He has some space. So you're measured early here. Ramos, nice diagonal ball, finds Morgan. Caputo surrounded by 3 defenders. Back to Morgan, who recycles. Caputo's cross easily headed away in the end. Edgewater Castle are finding out it is difficult to get past Jake Swallen.
Edgewater Castle is going to find out that it's very difficult to possess the ball against a team like Minneapolis City.
I think you're right. I mean, the energy and the quality of the center midfield, too. Lovely diagonal. And look at that touch from Capone, who finds Morgan in the box. Morgan shoots! City goal!
Oh, what a hit!
That's that early goal you're talking about, Andy. And it came from patient, bam, that diagonal Capone. What a quality touch.
Oh, I mean, everything about that buildup was quality. I mean, between the cross to switch the field, deft little touch to find Hakeem into space, and then he just rips it upper near post.
I love it when you roof the goalkeeper. Hit it at their head, it's hard for them to react.
Yeah.
Look at that, Hakeem Morgan taking a selfie right there with some fans. It's a beautiful early afternoon for soccer here in Minneapolis. There's a lot going on in the Twin Cities, but we got a nice crowd out, and the smoke's going, the selfies are had, the goals are flowing. This is what the fans came for.
Maybe unpopular thought, but I love the smell, the sulfur smell of the smoke.
Oh, same. Same. Ooh, look at that ball forward to Edgewater Castle. He's not on. He's
offside.
Oh.
I was going to say, like, I thought he was a good step or two offside.
That was close, and that goes to what we were talking about earlier, is that focus, right? Like, they were quick on that counterattack. City have to be sharp.
Yeah, and that was kind of the thing on Wednesday night's game, is City seemed like they were in control, got an early score, and then they gave up a goal like a couple minutes later. And so
Moreno picks his head up, finds Galante off his line. He overcooks it a little bit.
I like it. I like the intent.
I like it too, because I think you're right. They seem to, in Wednesday's game, take their foot off the gas. Gave up 2 goals, and just weren't as sharp, just weren't as intense, weren't doing things like Moreno did there. Is like, hey, let's test that defense a little bit.
Yeah, let's keep them honest.
A little bit of head tennis there, but Capone comes away with it. He goes high to Morgan. Friendly bounce from Morgan, but Benedetto comes over. Morgan's still working. Across the doctor, goal! Minneapolis City again! Nathan Donovan here in the 37th minute.
And I don't know what kind of celebration I've never seen a celebration that he just did.
When he scored that many goals?
I suppose you can celebrate however you want, but talk about, again, just Minneapolis City putting their technical ability on display here for Hakeem Morgan to be able to control that ball through traffic, plays a ball through the 6-yard box, and then Nathan Donovan be able to take a touch, gather himself, and finish. Just clinical
Well, that touch particularly with Chiba all over him.
Yes.
Quality stuff. Well, here we go with Minneapolis City 2, Edgewater Castle 0. I said 37th minute. I got thrown off, Nate, because the clock is counting down. Our dear friend Nate Morales, say we're thinking about you and your family. He's not here today running the scoreboard and the PA. Instead, it is my son. It's all his fault.
High schoolers, I tell you.
Oh, geez. What do they even know?
So yeah, it would have been, what, the 10th, 11th minute, 9th minute? I'm not good at math.
You know, me neither. We're going to give Kyle Eliason in the booth. He said it's the 9th minute. Argue with him if you don't like it. Minneapolis City 2, Edgewater Castle 0.
And you know what?
There we are. we
could have just looked at the broadcast. But no, we're not smart.
We're getting better at this. Moreno on the ball. He finds Caputo. Caputo has only Shollick in front of him.
That, or we'll never admit it, but maybe we missed John Bisworth.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
The glue to the opera.
The glue guy. Really listening right now saying, I knew it. Donovan turns. Sorry, that was Capone turns, finds Donovan. Back to Murray Powell. Ball skips up a little bit, and his shot is wide.
Hey, I like it.
I do too.
I like it.
That's what I was talking about with that Wolfpack. You had 5 city attackers all within just a few yards of space, but all angled enough to make sure that the defenders couldn't collapse on one of their teammates. Hard to defend.
As long as we don't take the number of speculative shots that Turkey has taken in their first 2 games.
All too easy for Capone. Lovely first touch, though. Oh, good turn by Donovan. Really lovely stuff by Chiba to get a foot in there as Donovan was turning. Edgewater Castle really struggling to just get it over the half line. A lot of that has to be down to that city press and the fact you can see them actively avoiding the center of the midfield. And frankly, Andy, if I had Jake Swallen and Jillian Murray Powell to have to pass her, I would too.
Yeah, it's not really, Edgewater's not really finding that easy pass when they have possession. And I think a lot of that, like you said, can be attributed to our press and just the work rate that our midfielders do.
You know, it's been interesting to see Caputo really push up on the left and Moreno have not quite a free roll, but he's been dropping in the midfield. He's been up on that forward line, really stretching that Edgewater Castle defense. Swallen, oh, he finds Obilo. Obilo's flag for offside.
Good idea. Good idea, though.
I'd just love to see a defender up that high. If ever I got that high on the field, I get a nosebleed.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but again, gotta keep the foot on the gas.
Big win from Obilo. Lovely touch there from Swallen and Murray Powell, and Caputo has the ball at his feet. Looks off Murray Powell's run. And that's that patience that we've seen so far today from City. They're willing to throw guys into attacking positions, take a beat, and restart. Morgan tackled hard by Sampson.
Yeah, he definitely got his money's worth on that one. And no card.
You know, it's early in the game, and so far that's been the one that's kind of stood out as a, wow, that's a real foul. I get why the referees just don't need to go the book too early.
I like it too. So I feel like sometimes refs just have a tendency to get card happy.
Cross by Morgan. He's headed straight up by Jelani Powell, and Galante comes down with it. It was good goalkeeping. They come through a lot of traffic to grab that one. He needed to. He's not an imposing goalkeeper from a size standpoint, so kind of extra credit for his willingness to drive forward into traffic. All the way back to Galante again, and they're going to restart with Chiba. Sampson ends up passing that one directly out of bounds, but then City give it up right on the throw. Good step forward by Husney. Did Donovan do enough to find? Oh, Hakeem Morgan working hard there on Benedetto. Benedetto, I thought it was good quality to have that header back, use his body. But what pressure Edgewater Castle are under.
I think one of the things that's been interesting to watch here is I think that both Nathan Donovan and Hakeem Morgan almost challenge each other because they're in that goal race with each other.
Oh, lovely ball forward. Whew. That was a let-off for City. Borges Reese looked like he lost it. He kept it back. Great work from Capone. Obilo ends up coming over.
Good recovery by City there. It almost, if he would have maybe hit that rather than taking a couple extra touches.
I think you're right. There's a let-off.
Very fortunate for City there.
And that's how quick they can hit on the counterattack. This is a good team, lightning fast in transitions, and City just have to stay sharp. Donovan looking for Caputo. Schkalik is there.
Yeah, I didn't think Caputo thought that he was going to get the ball there.
Yeah, he seemed to pull up his run. He's been so dangerous in recent games, including in the most recent USL League 2 game, which was a 3-0 win away at Rockford Raptors. He had a goal and an assist, and just always attacking, probing, really tricky player, so confident with the ball at his feet.
What was the call there? I didn't think he was offside. Interesting.
Donovan up against Chiva. Donovan wins it and keeps it in. Chiva's tackle eventually knocks out of bounds. Nate, if I had to do a player to watch for Edgewater Castle, Takeru Chiba would be my choice.
And why is that?
Well, mainly because I stole it, Andy, from Kyle Eliason, who writes our match reports. And if you have not gone on MPLSCitySC.com to read them, that's a big mistake because they are fantastic. So with that kind of stolen valor out of the way, I'll tell you, McFeely is Edgewater Castle's top scorer. He is not playing today. He didn't travel. So when I look at the center back, he just finished his senior year at UIC. He's a minutes leader for the Rooks this season. And with this City attack, with Edgewater Castle playing alone, looking at him to be a linchpin as the defense, a leader, and we've seen a match up against Nathan Donovan. He's got to have a big game for Edgewater Castle to get anything out of this. Caputo attacking. Back across to Key Morgan. Ooh, he drags his shot wide of Galante's post.
Pushed it wide. I thought we were going to see some net ripple there.
Seemed to almost get stuck under his foot. Wasn't far off, though.
I've been impressed with the ball movement so far by City. Whether it's crosses to switch the field of attack, or just those balls across the middle to bring cross chances. I've been impressed.
that was a handball from Shock. Well, the only person who can do hand of God is Diego Maradona, so sorry, David. You know, one of the things we should have brought up, actually, Andy, when Nathan Donovan scored his goal is he is now equal with Loic Massanvi, who now plays at Indy 11, previously at Minnesota United 2, with 9 goals. That's the all-time single-season goal-scoring record. So Nathan Donovan, with just over half of a season gone, has already equaled that record. Caputo, right across the 6-yard box, nobody there. Hat clear. City win.
That's quite impressive. Is he sure he wants to go to medical school?
I'm with you. Nathan Donovan could be a pro soccer player. That said, he's going to be going to medical school at the University of Minnesota this year. Man, it's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
Swollen. Caputo out wide. 1-on-1 on Schalik. He gets past his man, drives into the box, cuts it across. Galante is able to just hack that over the end line, and we've got a City throw-in or City corner.
All right, before we get to this corner here, how about our first sponsor read of the game? So Minneapolis City thanks this year's. You know, we'll wait till after the corner.
I love it.
I took a little bit too much time.
Sponsors are important to us, but so is scoring goals. Moreno's cross just over Donovan. Swollen.
Put it in.
Back to Moreno. Moreno gets past Schalik. He's in the area. Murray Powell wins it. It's back to Caputo, who shoots. Blocked, but only as far as Morgan. Capone.
All right.
His shot's blocked.
Just everyone wants to get on the scorecard today. So, as I was saying, Minneapolis City thanks this year's kit sponsor, local hip-hop legends Atmosphere. Fresh for our 10th season, we've teamed up to bring 2 kits to life, the Bolt from the Black and our 10th anniversary Feather Weather kit. Catch Atmosphere this summer at the Minnesota Yacht Club Festival's July 19th. Thank you, Atmosphere. Fresh is an understatement. These kits this year are amazing. And the fact that we've got local legends on the front of them makes it even better. And the fact that Atmosphere is actively a fan of the club makes it even better.
Oh, it's great to see him at games. And Andy, I'll tell you, and I'll tell everyone watching, we've already done 3 reorders of these kits so far. They're going so fast. So make sure you go online, MPLSCitySC.com, and get yours now.
I mean, he joins the likes of, I know there's some English artists, musical artists that had their names on kits.
Yeah, well, you know, Brighton Hove Albion had Fatboy Slim's record label skint for a number of years before they made it to the big time.
Oh, and we have a player down on the field, and the ref is immediately calling for attention. Let's hope he's okay. He is not moving.
No. Roseanne from TCO comes over to attend to him. We are seeing some movement now. He's getting up.
Well, that's good to see, because
you can hear it from the fans. Kudus Lawal gets up. He and Murray Powell have a conversation. And nothing malicious in it. That's the thing about sports. Things can happen. We're glad that he's up and moving around. I just rolled into an impromptu hydration break.
yeah.
I mean, it's not that hot, but look, I'm not down on the turf. But it was 78 and sunny when I got here, Andy, and yeah, perfect day for watching soccer.
Yeah, slight breeze.
You don't need no hydration breaks.
Yeah. That's the thing about this World Cup that's been getting me is, you know, they're playing games indoors and they're getting hydration breaks.
We're always going to turn this game into a game of quarters.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Hey, whatever helps the USA, right?
The referee talking to Jason Ramos and Islam Husni right now. You can read it all in the body language there. Talking to Alex Moreno, too. He's got a lot of conversations, the referee, as he looks forward to restarting the ball.
I don't even remember who had the ball when the play was stopped. I mean, I don't know if that's what they're trying to figure out on who's going to get the ball after the ball comes back in play here.
Now the fourth referee is pointing, and Keith Morgan is gesticulating. Center ref's going over to the near side linesman to have a conversation. Oh, went to Phil Caputo. All right, well, we figured it out in the end. The ball ends up with Galante. It could have happened quicker, I think, but I'm not on the field, Andy.
We would just, you know, City could have just been like, you know what, you take it. You take it.
Yeah.
We'll get it back soon enough.
Husni wins but loses it. Borges Reese is on the ball.
You know, I think of all the Castle players to me that have, I think number 10, Borges Reese, has looked the most impressive to me.
Caputo looking cross-field to Caleb Capone. And it's going to be back for a foul there.
Number 21, which, my apologies, I don't think we didn't have him on their roster, so we'll see if we can try to figure that out.
Yeah, we might call him Monchilovic because I don't. That's just League Two things. Obilo, he looks diagonal, finds Moreno. Moreno's pass too easily cut out in the end, and now Edgewater Castle are on the attack. The wall just surrounded by City players. Oh, Moreno just runs out of space in the end. A lot of pressure. Moreno called for a foul there. Would have been called this World Cup, which we were talking about earlier, Andy. Seems like the referees are kind of letting things play more than usual. I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm into it too. I mean, I think some of the fouls where players go down a little bit easy, I think the refs have been letting them say, hey, you know what? I'm not bringing my whistle out unless it's blatantly obvious it's a foul. And I kind of like that.
How do you do? It's a contact sport.
Yeah, this isn't the NBA.
Definitely not. Edgewater Castle win a throwing off Akeem Morgan.
Sorry, Anthony Edwards, if you want to be a kit sponsor in the future.
Murray Powell finds Capone, who dropped deep. And Obilo. One of the things I'm noticing, Andy, is as Murray Powell hits that diagonal to Caputo, we're seeing a lot of people just moving positions, finding those spaces and half spaces. This is a really fluid City attack so far, as Moreno, who was supposed to be up in the attack, finds himself sitting in the fullback role.
Well, and I think he was supposed to be starting on the left wing or right wing, and now he's
where he wants to be. Oh, good tackle from Husni.
And I think that's fine as long as you're disciplined enough to have defensive coverage. I think it's great. Makes it tougher on the opponent to figure out who they're marking, where they're supposed to be marking.
Oh, Sesser gives the ball away. That is a bad giveaway. Falls to Chavez. Chavez loses the ball, but only as far as Alonso.
Yeah, for the first time there, Edgewater had a pretty decent press. We're sitting in the passing lanes, didn't allow City to move the ball around as freely as they had been in the first, 30 minutes of this match. It forced a turnover.
I think you're right. We're seeing that pressure start to tell. Morgan takes down Sampson there. If you're Edgewater Castle too, at this point you think, why not? Let's just go at it.
Yeah, I mean, don't they always say two goal lead is the worst lead in soccer. So
I brought that up to Biz, and he said that's stupid.
he would say that. He's such a contrarian. He's a contrarian unless it's his idea.
Oh, then he loves it.
Yeah.
He'll say it next game.
Yeah.
Whipped in. Sessler punches away over Donovan. This is a big punch.
Gliding through the air.
Ooh, lovely work here. Flicked in. Swollen heads away, and Capone comes up with it.
Ball over the top to Donovan.
Shalek did a nice job of fending off Donovan there and gets it to Galante, but already you can see City pressing high.
Yeah, let's see if City can work the press here and regain the possession. Get another chance here. It'd be nice to get one or two more before halftime.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Put this one away early. City have RKC Third Coast at home on Wednesday. The Crows beat RKC for the first time in, this is their 7th game they've ever played. So finally beat them away in Racine earlier this season, but it's been a bit of a bogey team for them. Nice turn from Moreno. Looking for Morgan. Well, cut out by Shalek. And that's an intentional handball by Borges Reese.
I think you forgot what sport we were playing.
It's pretty bad. Fourth official waving it off as no. I got to be honest. The intentional handball I find particularly offensive. It's not quite spitting any, but it's so blatantly against the rules that it enrages me. That's my hobby horse.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you can't do that.
I didn't realize you'd be so angry with that.
Look, I'm a goalkeeper. I'm allowed to use my hands. No one else is.
Oh, see, I think for me, it's the time wasting is what gets me enraged.
I see.
You know,
well, as a goalkeeper, I've been doing my fair bit of it over the years.
Yeah,
so
that figures. You seem like the type.
Galante only as far as Caputo, but Caputo only as far as Chiba. Usni so quick to close down who we believe is Momcilovic.
He's someone. He's number 21. That's what we do know.
Number 21 on the field, but not in the team sheet. Ooh, Swollen just getting a little bit caught between Moreno and Powell's different runs. Murray Powell, he's driving forward to win. They're just getting no time on the ball, Edgewater Castle. Lovely work. And Edgewater Castle on the attack. Some sustained possession there.
Now the wall has showed some glimpses as well.
He has, and with Borges Reese kind of working either side of him, he's giving the City defense some real questions to answer. I think you said he was your kind of most impressive player, and I love how he's popping up in all these different spaces. Sampson gets the ball back. Swollen says no.
Yeah, Edgewater pushing forward here. This break, we got a player down. Is that Lawal down again? You know, honestly, I was a little surprised they didn't give a more substantial check on him after he was laying on the ground motionless. Like, he got up and they were like, okay, seems like he's good to go. And now he's down, hunched over again. So while we've got our lovely trainer from TCO coming out, how about a TCO sponsor read? Minneapolis City is in good hands with our longtime sports medicine partner, Twin Cities Orthopedics. You too can have TCO on your side with their wide range of specialty services to help you achieve your goal of returning to full health. Learn more at tcomn.com, and I can personally attest
tell me more.
to how great TCO is, because I've had multiple knee surgeries, a back surgery, you name it. TCO is helping me stay in the game. Not soccer anymore, but pickleball.
Oh, man.
Watch out.
I wouldn't dare take you on in pickleball, Andy, although I've got my 4 duper rating, so coming for you.
Oh, well,
slowly but surely.
You still got a hill to climb.
I do.
Still got a hill to climb.
I believe I started with, I will not play you, but I'm on my way.
And you know what? Let's get another sponsor read here while we're at it. Fathead Bills. From the owner of the Corner Bar comes Fathead Bill's, the new spot for smash burgers in downtown Minneapolis. And as I previously mentioned, they are bringing those almost world-famous Joey Wings
Love 'em.
with them from the Corner Bar. They have all your Corner Bar favorites, the staff, the great food. Check out the new Fathead Bill's today. It's over by where I live in the Mill District. It's a lovely little location, lots of TVs there to catch your sports games.
Well, Andy, it looks like we're going to have a substitution, which, unfortunate for Lowell, who I thought was having a good game, but you got to be careful with head injuries. We wish him the best.
Yeah, so it looks like we've got, wait for him to turn around. Number 20, I'm thinking I'm seeing.
Looks like it. Sebastian Mugere. I'm pretty sure that's not how you say it, but...
hey, it sounded good to me.
Mugere. I like to make everyone Italian, and I speak with my hands. Sampson on the ball. As Edgewater Castle looking much better the second part of this first half. Really asking some questions of Minneapolis City. Moreno pass a little bit too far from Swollen, and Edgewater Castle now seem to be winning the ball just when they want to. I said that, and then they gave it away.
Yeah, it does not look like Edgewater Castle did a like-for-like change. It almost looks like Bugere is going to be out on the right-hand side here.
I think you're right. Borges Reeves perhaps moving into that center striker role. Capone brings down the ball. Nice and easy. He plays his college soccer at Wisconsin. Andy, at your home state, with a number of guys playing for the Badgers.
My home state, but I am a Gophers fan, so I say better dead than red.
I love everything about that. Ooh, Murray Powell can't quite get there, but Husney can. Finds Sessler, and City are back moving forward, but Husney gives the ball away. It's been a little bit loose, I think, this last 10 minutes or so, Andy.
Yeah, they're not. City's not connecting on the passes the way they were in the first part of this first half. I think it's also safe to say, as well, as good as we are technically, we did get some, I think, fortunate bounces through traffic on the way to our first 2 goals, and we don't seem to be getting those bounces now.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that can so often happen is Sessler just finds Ramos under pressure. Seeing Edgewater Castle press forward the way that they have, it's different than how they started. They're a little bit passive, and you just can't give this City attack time. And they learned that the hard way. But now making this much more competitive a game.
Which on one hand is fine, right? You'd like to see City continue to have tough games rather than just walkover type games, especially as you mentioned, as we're kind of preparing for Wednesday's game against RKC Coast, where, like you said, they are kind of the boogeyman. And,
yeah.
So maybe it is a good thing to have a little bit of a tougher challenge here and not just everyone scoring at will.
Well, I think you're right. One of the things that we've seen over the years, particularly for away teams, whether it's us or others, is it's tough to. I mean, this is a 7-hour drive from Chicago, and you got a few hours to kind of get loose. You got to warm up, but that's tough. It's tough to spend that much time driving.
I know.
And the City's taking advantage of that slow start.
I know how I feel when I get out of the car after. Oh, and we got an offside. That was gonna be our boy, Borges Reese.
He's been dangerous working off that back line. And Sessler a little slower than usual coming off his line, although perhaps he saw the flag go up. In League 2 this year, Daniel Sessler has only conceded 2 goals in 6 matches, Andy. And right now, it might be 2 goals in 6.5, depending on how the last few minutes of this half play out. He's having a great season. Galante tracked down hard by Caleb Capone. Was able to clear. Husney battling, but Shalak gets away with it. Looking across, Momchilovic is there. He's got Borges Rees in space. Chooses to cross, but Ramos
Deals with it easily.
Edgewater Castle back on the attack. Borges Rees on the ball. Akeem Morgan, good tracking back from the forward to knock that out, but it is an Edgewater Castle corner kick.
I feel like their attack kind of comes and goes as Borges Rees comes and goes. You know, he create smart runs. He seems to be making the smart passes.
Yeah, he has definitely been a danger to Minneapolis City. The delivery in. Back across. That was Chiba, the center back, and he just flicks it over the crossbar in the end.
Taken like a true center back.
Nice work, though, for the substitute, the forward, Bugere. But, yeah, I think you're right. I wouldn't want a center back right in that position if I could if I could have chosen.
But if you're Arsenal, you're having your center backs take PKs. As, you know.
Look, that might be a slightly different level.
Hey, I say that as an Arsenal fan. Heart's still broken.
And Swollen just, where's they knocking that one behind Capone out of bounds. There he is with Borges Rees on his back. Doesn't really have anywhere to go. Taken down by Borges Rees.
Oh, and that's one of my pet peeves too. Is just the silly fouls. You got them trapped in. You don't need to run them over.
Yeah. You certainly don't have to kick him.
No, no. But that is something that John Bisworm would do back in the day.
100%. Then he smashed the ball away and tell you it wasn't his fault. Donovan to Murray Powell. Caputo with Shalak to beat. Edgewater Castle doing a nice job of making sure that it's not for very long that Caputo is alone on the ball.
And no foul there. Interesting. You know, it would have been nice there. So we played this nice ball to the wing, but I didn't see any City players coming and showing to him.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they're just a little bit tired towards the end of this first half here or what, but it would have been nice to see someone show to him there.
I think you're right. He needed the wolf pack.
Yep.
Caputo just wellies it. We've just got a few minutes left in the half here. Minneapolis City 2, Edgewater Castle 0. It was a great start from the Crows. Since then, you have to say the run of play has been even to Edgewater Castles. A little bit of game state to that, but I think Edgewater Castle kind of coming out of their shell and pressing harder and being more aggressive has made a big difference.
Yeah, just found themselves in the game a little bit there.
That was Carrera came in hard.
Good ball.
Moreno, he's free now.
Oh, and they're calling him off.
Whew.
I don't know about that one. See the replay on that one. Oh,
well, that was close. I think he got it right.
But maybe just a touch. Apologies, ref. Linesman. One and only time you'll hear.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I can't believe you said that out loud, but he was right in the end. He was right in the end.
Hey, I've never gotten a red card while playing in a game. But I've gotten a red card as a manager in a game.
Okay, that's fantastic. Sessa right at the edge of his box is able to just stay in.
Tippy toes.
And City find Caputo again. City willing to just take the sting out of this half here, but also we haven't seen the same type of movement earlier, though. Murray Powell gets on the ball, he turns forward. Donovan tackled, but Swollen is there. It's that diagonal from Ramos looking for Caputo. Caputo, nice chest in. He has Shalek to beat. Oh, off his left, and it's just wide there in the end. Oh, he's going to be a little frustrated because he chested that ball down with such quality.
He did everything leading up to the shot was quality, and then he did get just a little bit, defender, just a little bit of pressure on him. Maybe affected the shot. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, I think Shalek did a nice job of getting his body where he could make an impact without giving up a penalty. Moreno.
So we're into stoppage time now. I don't know how much stoppage time the ref has indicated.
Well, as we wait to hear from the referee what we have for stoppage time. 3 minutes. A minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time indicated by the referee. That seems about right. This has been a game with 2 goals. Ball over the top to Donovan. Just can't get there in front of Galante. Galante really good to get off his line quickly. Yeah, two goals, but otherwise this has been a nice, clean game. The referees let it flow.
Yeah, and there's been, some chances for both sides. Obviously, City of 2 goals. Edgewater, they've had some half chances that they weren't able to capitalize on.
Yep. Borges Reeves, probably the best one if he had just a slightly, it seemed like the ball, I don't know, skipped funny or went off his boot funny. He had the best chance for Edgewater Castle, was forced to turn back. Chiba. Charlotte. Gary does a nice job keeping the ball, but he ends up passing a Swollen just straight up the middle to Dr. Goals. Donovan's one-on-one with Galante. Oh! His own defender. Oh, and that's wide by Donovan. Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, huge
Galante
collision.
Taken out by his own defender. Donovan with only a defender to beat fires wide.
They somehow make the save and then had a second shot at the apple there, and oof.
Let's hope Galante's okay. That looked like
he looked immediately like he was in pain.
He may have gotten it booted from his own defender there. Yes. Oh man, he got the full cleat. Looked like maybe the inside of his thigh from his own player as Donovan's touch took the ball wide. Donovan disappointed he doesn't bury that one, but sometimes the unexpected throws you off as a striker, and that was something you don't see very often. We hope Galante's okay. They're going to be, looks like they've got their backup goalkeeper looking to come on. That's unfortunate.
And the ref calls the half.
I don't know what else you do here. Hopefully,
probably a smart decision.
Yeah, hopefully Galante's okay. Twin Cities Orthopedics is going to be keeping an eye on him, and we wish him well. But for this, at halftime, Minneapolis City 2 with goals from Caleb Capone in the 7th minute, and then Nathan Donovan in the 9th. And that's all we had.
Well, I think it was Hakeem Morgan with the first goal. He hit that roof.
You're right. I take it back. Good thing you're here, Andy.
Hey.
2 goals nonetheless, Minneapolis City. We will get back to you in a little bit to break down the half. Keep watching, though. This is a fun game. All right, we are back here at Edor Nelson Field, Minneapolis City, playing Edgewater Castle. The Crows with 2 early goals. Hakeem Morgan in the 7th minute, Nathan Donovan in the 9th, and that's a 2-0 lead. Andy, break it down for us.
Yeah, I think as we were talking about, one of the things we want to see was to see a fast start from Minneapolis City. We saw that. Some good ball movement, some good passes, a little bit of good individual moments as well, led to 2 quick goals. And I think then throughout the first half, you know, we kind of played our game, moved the ball around, and then kind of as the game went on, you could see Edgewater got a little bit more comfortable possessing the ball, moving the ball around, pressing City a little bit. I'd like to see City in the second half move Edgewater Castle a little bit more side to side like we were in that first half. Play those diagonal balls and just get them moving. They don't have a deep bench tonight. They've already had to use one of their subs, so let's get them moving horizontally before we try to play that vertical ball that I know we do like to play a lot.
Andy, I think you're right there. And it was a tale of 2 halves of 1 half.
Yes.
I'm not going to coin that one, but, you know, as Edgewater Castle started to kind of come out of their shell, be a little more aggressive, they caused some problems for City. Some of it you might say is game state, but I think you hit it well. We're going to see how Edgewater Castle come back out. It looks like their goalkeeper, Joseph Galante, is on the field. Looks like he is going to come back. They finished the half with he had taken just a nasty collision from his own center back, Quentin Benedetto, as Nathan Donovan just flicked it past both of them. They collided, but credit to Lucas Sampson for somehow keeping them thrown off.
Somehow
Donovan.
that ball stayed out, and I don't know how you phased Dr. Goals, but yeah, that could have been a complete game changer to go up 3 goals before the half there. Didn't happen, but you know, I'm expecting City to come out kind of with a flurry here in the second half. I think, you know, City staff always does a great job of collecting them at halftime, getting them to refocus a little bit, and you know, I hate to say it because I don't want to sound too overconfident in our team, but you know, it almost got to the point where I felt like maybe we were playing with our food a little bit, you know, trying to do some things out of system, and so maybe we'll get a little bit focused here in the second half.
Well, I think you're right there, Andy. As we're getting close to kickoff, Edgewater Castle will have the ball. That was City we talked about at the beginning of the game. One of the keys to the game is got to keep focus. 2 early goals. 2 goals within the first 10 minutes. All of a sudden you start to think about other things. Maybe I'm going to go on walkabout, see what I can do.
Well, and I think we may have a City change here too to start the second half.
Well, you're absolutely right. It looks like we do. It looks like we'll have number 14, Morgan Olson, who's going to be coming on for. Oh, let's see for sure who he's going to come on for. Andy, it looks like this is a formation change, and he's on for Jake Swallen. I take that back because I see Jake Swallen. Okay, so shouldn't have talked before. Look at the red hat. It was Jeloni Murray Powell who's off. Jeloni, I'm sorry. I noticed you all first half. I thought you played great.
He did have a good game. So why don't you tell me, what does Morgan Olson bring into the game?
So Olson, he plays his college soccer at Gonzaga, youth soccer player at Minnesota Thunder Academy. He's got a lot of energy, a lot of technical quality. He's very quick. And one thing I love about him is his ability to quick interchange. Right, he's going to get a short pass. He's going to give a short pass. He's going to move quickly. And if you're a City team looking to keep the ball, having somebody who's willing and able to do that in tight spaces, he's the right guy to have on the field. Big tackle from Husney. And yeah, I have been impressed by Gary, the Edgewater Castle sub. He's been a live wire, been really dangerous. Husney's done well with him, but he's had to work harder than he did beforehand.
Yeah, no, he's been you know, I was interested to see whether or not their play would drop down a little bit with number 9 coming out of the game. And no, he's more than held his own.
So, Andy, it looks like we've seen City kind of go to a 3-4-3 with a diamond midfield, although with Moreno continuing to move and interchange in the back, the fluidity of the City team makes it a little bit hard to pin down. I think Coach Forsyth would tell you that, giving it a 3-4-3, a 4-3-3, any of those they're just kind of numbers on a board. He wants the team to play with aggression and movement. You're a good player yourself. When you see teams who are able to move and interchange like that, what does that do for you as a defender?
It causes you a headache because, it's so much easier as a defender if you're able to just say, okay, well, I've got number 10's going to come in my space, and that's who I'm going to mark, and I'm going to be marking number 10 or number 9, whatever their number is. But if you've got guys crisscrossing, you've got to be sharper as a defender to communicate with each other. As you were talking about interchange, we've got Hakeem Morgan out wide right trying to bring the ball in, and
couldn't quite get past Sampson, but I think you're right there. It forces you to think differently. You started to see the Edgewater Castle players in that attack in a little bit out of position. And I think that's where you start to see City at its best, right? Like the passing is sharper, the movement's better.
Well, and when you have those interchangeable pieces and people that can play all over the field, then what you can do is you can overload one side of the field and then force the opposing team to bring defenders over to that, one side, and then City can then make runs into the wide open space.
That's the Wolf Pack. Oh, Hakeem Morgan, he's taken down. Whew. That was not good from Benedetto. Benedetto's going to go in the book here in the 49th minute.
First booking of the game.
There's no malice in that one, if you ask me, but he was late as Morgan skipped past him. And, if you saw earlier, that was the type of work between Moreno, between Swallen, between Morgan Olsen, the substitute. Quick, and a great release. Without the yellow card foul, Morgan's just driving at goal.
Yep.
And this isn't the easiest position for a free kick, but it's not the worst either. So I think Benedetto, in the end, despite being on a yellow as a center back, which can change a little bit how you play, I think it worked out, for him.
Yeah, I'd love to see us get a head on one of these here.
Moreno's over the ball. Does not find someone in a pretty hard to miss pink and black and electric blue atmosphere wing kit, but City retained possession. Oh, Sessler too high for Morgan Olsen. Whoa, lovely stuff from Borges Reese.
Yeah, he's looked good. City here now.
We've had another substitution, and you could just see him. He was just on the ball right there, number 23, Arie van Mol. And he's challenging for the ball. It comes his way. Arie van Mol, he's in the 18. He's got Donovan. He's all right across. Olsen's on the ball again, looking for Hakeem Morgan. No, but Alex Moreno, City goal! Last touch, Dr. Goals, of course.
Of course, Doctor's Goals gets a touch on it. Bedside manner, if you will, is nice.
He does just what he needs. Credit to Galante. He saw that through traffic, but that last touch from Nathan Donovan, that's his 10th goal of the season. He is now the all-time single-season leading scorer in Minneapolis City history. He goes past Loic Massanvi, who's been a pro soccer player for 4 years now.
That's elite company to be in. Watch the replay here. So, yeah, just gets that slight deft deflection on it.
And I think he needed it. You could see Galante going, and it just had to go back up to his left, which he couldn't.
Reminds me so much of a hockey goal right there. Just get that net front presence.
And so that's Nathan Donovan's second here in the 50th minute. Minneapolis City 3, Edgewater Castle 0. We're just about to talk about number 23, Ari Van Mol, another one of the Wisconsin Badger contingent. He came on for number 27, Phil Caputo. And it was his challenge for the header, winning that ball that started that attack that, after pinging around a little bit, ended up in the goal. Great work from Moreno. Great work from Van Mol, and of course the finish by Donovan. But Gary eats up Ramos's attempt to just knock that clear, but Edgewater Castle able to do much of it, and looks like that's going to be out of bounds in the end.
It looks like they called offside there somehow.
Huh. Well, you know, Andy, that's the thing with the referees. They're ciphers. It's hard to understand what they're doing. Ari Van Mol putting Benedetto under pressure, but Galante's there. He hoofs it all the way to Daniel Sessler. Sessler is still awake. He has had to make no saves today on 2 shots. And that's a credit to really the whole City team who are pressing from front to back.
Nice crowd here tonight. Stands almost completely full.
That's a beautiful day to watch soccer, if you ask me. Oh! Benedetto comes across, but he can't quite get out of bounds. Sampson is there as Donovan drives forward.
Wins a corner.
I think Sampson, he's been under pressure all game long. I think he's acquitted himself pretty well.
Yeah, you know, he's had a good game under the circumstances, and
it's a tough one sometimes as a defender. You know, where you can get isolated, you can get dragged out of position, you can have to cover, but he's I think done really well. He's been a bright spot. Headed away from Benedetto, but only as far as Moreno. But Moreno knocks it out of bounds.
Can't keep it in. I mean, I think, and you see there with Hakeem Morgan, I think just epitomizes City's season there. It's, you know, now the 55th minute. He's played the entire game, and he's just running side to side, pressing the ball, making runs to get the ball.
Oh, you're right, nonstop. He's tracking back. He's attacking forward.
That's what happens. You put yourself in good positions, and good things happen.
Sampson a little bit lucky with how that ball ended up playing off of. Ooh. Oh, and the referee has a yellow card out here.
Definitely got part of the body, but it looked like he got ball too. So I'm kind of surprised that a yellow's coming out here.
Ramos is taking issue with it. Referee's talking to Swallen.
You know, it's been really interesting. This referee, he really likes to explain everything to the players.
Must be a teacher. In real life.
Could be.
Well, it looks like Jake Swallen's going to go in the book in the 56th minute. Or else he wrote his name down for his permanent record. Benedetto finds Alonso.
And there's Swallen.
Always. Caputo, nice turn, but Chiba did an even better job to get that ball from him. There's Swallen. So close for City springing an attack, and you'd love to see how even the attacking players are putting in that work defensively.
And that's leads to loss of possession, like we see there. Edgewater's forced to play a ball quicker than maybe they want, or a ball to an area that they don't want to, and it leads to City regaining possession.
Obilo finds Morgan Olson. Back to Obilo. Benedetto gives up a corner kick. City have a number of players who are just so good getting that ball quick to him in tight spaces. Swallow in particular, but you could name any number of players. That gives them such an edge. This field at Edor Nelson, it's small. It's about as small as you can get and be League Two okay. Morgan heads wide, but it takes a lot of technical quality to play, and to play like City do. Sampson finds Burgos Reese, but Obilo reads that really well. Ramos in trouble. Burgos Reese wins it back. Detective Chavez. Out wide to Bugari. Bugari's touch lets him down. That rolls under his foot. A promising attack for Edgewater Castle in the end.
And that's kind of just been the MO for Edgewater Castle tonight, as they've had these glimpses of connecting passes, being in the final third, and then just they lose possession through a bad touch, or unable to get a touch on a ball that you should have been able to. There's a couple times in the first half where they were inside the 18 and took too many touches, or just got the ball tangled in their feet.
Nice turn from Donovan. Donovan's down.
And a yellow card brandished.
Yeah, yellow card to Benedetto here in the 60th minute. He kicked that ball after the play, and it went right into Donovan's face.
It cannot be Benedetto. So I wonder if he got Sampson instead, because Sampson was also in on the picture, because Benedetto's already on a yellow.
No, you're right. I would have thought it was the kick to the ball in the face after, but that's why I'm not a referee, Andy.
No.
Don't know what I'm doing.
Or you know what you're doing.
Hakeem Morgan keeps it in, but gives it away. Burgos Reese. Nice attack with some space here as Alonso's able to go wide. And Shalek goes forward, looking for Chavez, who's got into much more advanced spaces here in the second half, but overcooks his pass. Oh, bad giveaway from Sessler. Falls to. Whew. Oh, Edgewater Castle fired wide. I have to say, Ramos had it covered.
He did.
You don't usually say that about the center back, but Sessler's been a little bit loose with a couple passes today. Houston just going on a run. Why not? Looking for Caputo. Can't quite find him. Now he can. Nope. Chiba's there. Galante hacks clear. Bugari offside. He's upset, but you got to say he did come back from offside on that one. Always tough for a player sometimes to know exactly where you were.
Looks like we got some City subs coming in here, Dan.
All right. Well, Nathan Donovan, he's going to be coming off for number 11, Julian Banks.
And looks like
Jake Swallen also is going to be coming off. What a shift he put in. And that's going to be number 7, Will Schmidt, who's going to be coming on for Jake Swallen. So Banks will take up that center forward position with where Dr. Goals was, and in the number 6 position we'll have Will Schmidt. Schmidt plays his college soccer at Northeastern, and Banks is one of the Badger crew.
Yeah, I wonder if you'll see maybe Hakeem Morgan shift into the middle a little bit more with Donovan out or if he'll continue to stay out wide.
Oh, Banks tangling with Chiba. Chiba gets the call. Okay. We've earlier established that I'm not a referee for a reason, Andy.
Yep.
Gary tangling with Van Mol. He wins a throw-in.
I think I'd pay good money to see you as a referee.
You know what? I think that it'd be worth every cent. Well, it looks like we got a long throw coming up. I do love a good long throw. But it was right to Husni. Caputo hacks clear, and he forces Banks to get on his horse. Oh, good challenge from Caputo to win that ball. Goes to Banks. Schmidt finds Caputo again out wide. Oh! He's taken down by Charlotte. Charlotte came in late.
Looks like a yellow card coming in the 62nd minute to 18. You were on it.
Citizens have been in great voice. I don't know if you can hear it on the broadcast, but they have been nonstop all game.
I feel like they've upped their chants too. I feel like I've heard some new ones today.
I love the variety.
I don't know if that's stemmed by. I feel like there's been a lot of soccer chant talk given the World Cup's going on.
There are some good ones. I'll tell you, I wish I spoke more languages because there are some that I wish I knew the words to.
Yeah, it makes me wish I was Scottish. I would be in Boston
speaking another language.
Yeah, don't think I'd be eating haggis, but
Moreno knocked away from Galante. Good save. Given away by Hussein, who's up high, and that's going to spring a counterattack. Burgos Rice. Ramos does a nice job winning the ball. Burgos Rice is down. I'm not The referee saw nothing, neither did I. Burgos Rice is going to be getting up. He's got a few words to the AR. I found those never work, Andy, unfortunately.
And I always like when the players get up and they see.
Oh, ball over the top to Banks. It's not flagged, and Galante has to head away. Good goalkeeping. Ramos does a nice job. He's got, I think, Momchilovic on. And then going again long to Banks. Chiba's there. Chiba's touch. But Galante clears.
You know, what I've really enjoyed watching is Ramos is just so calm and collected in the back.
Oh, he is. It's just that veteran experience.
You put me on the back line, and those balls come bouncing my way, and I'm like, oh no, oh boy, what am I gonna do with it? And he just
so calm.
Just another day.
Well, you've heard it from a number of his teammates who talked about. Even Daniel Sessler said, you know, he's a luxury for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, that's one of the reasons why, I mean, like you said, we've, at this point in the game, Sessler's seen 2 shots, and, I mean, neither of them probably really high quality, you know.
Isn't that to do a lot, and, yeah, a lot of credit to the back line, and, you know, Ramos as the organizer. That's that veteran.
Oh, nice little link-up play here from City. That was just beautiful to watch as it continues. Good movement.
Banks off on the right. He finds Morgan. Morgan is offside, though. Benedetto did a nice job to step forward. He kind of read that pass from Banks.
Yeah, I would like to see Banks continue the one-touch passing that we had going on there. Morgan seemed open from the get-go.
You can see in the bottom right of your corner, City fans, there's kind of a really weird sort of scarecrow skeleton crow effigy, and I just want you all to know that I love everything about it. Morgan is hacked down by Borges Reese. I think Reese at this point a little bit lucky
not being yellow.
If he escapes the referee's book just for persistent fouling. The thing is, it's a credit to him. He's been everywhere. He's been on the left. He's been on the right. He's been attacking. He's been defending. You flagged him early, Andy. I think he's been Edgewater Castle's best player. Shalik was under pressure.
I just can't stop looking at this skeleton scarecrow.
There's a lot happening. Obilo finds Morgan Olson. Moreno. Back to Ramos. City taking their time with just about 20 minutes plus whatever the referee has for stoppage on the clock. Obilo finds Banks to his feet. Olsen drives forward.
Good patience, not forcing it. Again, Ramos just cool on the ball.
Oh, the 1-2, Ramos and Caputo. Ramos just loses the ball. Looks like he called back for a handball as that ball skipped up.
We got some subs coming in for Edgewater here. Looks like our mystery 21 player, who we thought maybe was Mums and Chavez, going out. Coming in for them. Oh yeah, can we get a shot? Can we get a shot of the skeleton scarecrow while we got this break and play? The viewers, there it is. The viewers want to see it. Look at that dance.
It's gonna haunt my dreams. Soccer fan though, and clearly picked up some.
I think the only way we could make that better is if we had like maybe a crow like inside the skull. So coming on for Edgewater, looks like we got number 23, Andrew Sanchez. And bear with us while we're distracted by the skeleton scarecrow for the other sub. We'll find out as soon as we can see here.
Nice work from Husni to shield that from Bugari. So it looks like we are going to have Andres Rocha, who's going to be coming on for, who really was Stefan Momcilovic. That's good to know, validated. And then Sanchez is coming on for Chris Chavez.
I'm glad we were saying the right name the entire time.
It's good. You know, I hate to call people by their wrong name.
He just didn't feel like being number 22 tonight, I guess.
Don't blame him. Oh, Caputo gets the ball back, driving on Chiba. They're so quick to get a number of people on him, but he's going to win the corner there. Escalante tries to stop that out, but doesn't.
Oh no, looks like he did save it.
He did? Oh. Huh.
Oh. Well, I don't know what's going on here. We've got City players that are pushing back, but yet we've got. Okay, so no, we do have a corner here. Plays it in and looks like cleared out by Edgewater. Got another corner coming here. The Citizens are just in full force tonight. Love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. This ball floated in, punched away by Galante over Husni. Falls to Bugari.
He's not the most imposing keeper, but he's made some big saves today.
He really has. Bugari's first touch lets him down. Schmidt turns him back, but he finds Burgos Race. Good win by Schmidt. We got Banks on the ball. Finds Morgan, finds
yeah.
Schmidt.
Oh.
Gives it away, wins it back. That's Akeem Morgan.
Look at this ball movement. Ooh, good
Banks.
Good
tackle from Sampson there. You know, on Wednesday, I thought Banks was one of City's best players.
He is talented. You can see he's got pace. He's got skill.
Hard worker.
Good ball.
He really makes Van Mol work. That's his Wisconsin teammate. He's looking to get it back. Van Mol does a nice job to get Bashalik. Oh, falls to Caputo. Caputo looks for Hakeem Morgan. Save! Hacked away by Benedetto after Galante saves it.
Good ball movement there.
Really nice
Love
stuff.
the unselfishness by all the City players there. Banks is going to want that one back. If he would have went to the right, it would seem like there was no traffic. It was wide open. But, hey, at the same time, I think he just wanted to get a shot off there. Easy for us to say up here.
Easy. Yeah, I knew just what to do when I wasn't bland. Sampson hacks it away. Only as far as Husni. Nice stuff from the substitute Sanchez. Benedetto gives it up to Morgan. Morgan finds Caputo. Caputo's so dangerous with the ball at his feet. Oh, his touch lets him down.
Heavy touch.
Morgan can't quite keep control of it. It was a nice run from Banks in the end, too, overlapping Caputo to the left. Moreno, nice stuff to eat up Alonso.
Looks like we got three City subs coming in here, Dan.
Well, while you look at who the subs are, Andy, let's give a shout out to Twin Cities Barber Company. Guys, look your best with the only barber you should trust in Minneapolis. I gotta be honest, I go there. And the only reason why I look halfway decent. Twin Cities Barber Co., locally owned and operated in the heart of South Minneapolis, offers quality services that'll have you feeling your best. Treat yourself to a traditional barbershop with modern style and make an appointment at tcbarberco.com today. All right, well, looks like we've got our debutant Hassan Gabo, the Somali international. He's going to come in for Dube Mobilo at right back. Looks like we also have Remy Nyembwe, who's going to be coming on. We'll just pause there as Ramos just forces Mugari to head that one out of bounds in the end. Looks like Nyembwe is going to come on for the goal scorer Hakeem Morgan. And then we're going to have Landon Benj, who's going to be on the other side for Phil Caputo. I thought Caputo was dangerous today. It's clear that they did their homework, Edgewater Castle, and really, you know, they were quick to triple or at least double team it every time he got the ball.
Yeah, he played really well. He looked dangerous with himself on the ball. He found others. Real impressive shift for Caputo tonight.
Sanchez finds Alonso in space. Gabo can get only as far as Sanchez. Again, he's gotten more involved as the game's gone on. Nice stuff from Burgos Reese. But he's offside.
He's offside. So, one thing that I think people always comment about City is they always look fresh. They got great jerseys. And who are those jerseys by, Dan?
Oh, Stimulus Athletic, Andy. What a setup. From the 10-year anniversary Featherweather kit to the Bolt from the Black kit, Stimulus Athletic has helped Minneapolis City put fire in the backs of our players season after season. And they can do the same for your team. No matter the level, no matter the age group, don't settle for average. Build your team's identity with Stimulus Athletic today.
Tell us about the jerseys that are for sale again. How many times have you had to reorder?
3 times. 3 times we've reordered. You can get them at MPLSCitySC.com. You should get them now because they are going fast for the 3rd time. Sampson, nice touch. Burgos Reese somehow was able to keep that in. Literally everything went wrong for him, but it all went right. which frankly, Andy, that happened to me one time at Bryant Lake Bowl. I got to be honest. If you're in Uptown looking for something to do, Bryant Lake Bowl is your spot. There's a legendary cheap date night every Monday, Tuesday bingo at 8 p.m. or Trivia Mafia on Wednesdays. And, hey, if you stay super late on Saturday nights, you might find what I did when I was 25. Breakfast is served from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day to help you recover. Or, hey, throw some rocks at their vintage bowling alley when you keep score the old school way, by hand, on paper. Swing by the Bryant Lake Bowl tonight.
Do you know how to score by hand?
No, absolutely not.
What's your highest bowling score ever?
Oh, my gosh. One time when I was in high school, Andy, I got 285. Literally everything went right for me. I printed off my score. My average is like 102. I'm basically Obama on the bowling lanes, except this one night. And when I printed off, the woman was like, "That's all you got?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I'm going to put it up on my bedroom because I can't believe I was so bad.
Jeez. And so that would have been in Ohio?
No, that was Atlanta, Georgia. I was a senior in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Trying to impress the girls, which went better than my time at Bryant Lake Bowl. They'd never done it again. Turns out bowling is really difficult, except that one time.
It is crazy. I watched that bowling documentary that was on HBO. Oh, man, let me tell you. Like,
so good.
It was good. And just, like, seeing the passion and the things that these bowlers go through, I'm like, oh, I'd be such a head case.
Gabo does a good job shielding the ball from Sanchez. Sessler picks up. Again, this is Hassan Gabo's Minneapolis City debut. He's played professionally with Greenville Triumph. He is a Somali international. Remy Nyembwe can't believe that that's an Edgewater Castle throw-in, but it is. Nyembwe is another one. I thought he was just fantastic on Wednesday night. Probably City's best player, though I don't like to choose favorites. He was just excellent going forward, defending.
Well, you don't like to choose favorites unless we're talking about non-alcoholic beer. Is that correct?
There it is, Andy.
And so speaking of non-alcoholic beer, let's talk about Athletic Brewing, who is officially at Minneapolis City games. The number, as we're getting a foul right outside the box here.
Right outside the box. That's going to be a yellow card. Here in the 80th minute to Alex Moreno. Probably just about deserved. He's a little bit lucky that it didn't go for a penalty in the end. Borges Reese, I thought, did everything he could to win it. But I got to be honest, Borges Reese also took 5 full-speed steps juggling the ball, and that was just nasty.
Yeah, that was. And so while we're ref is counting out the steps, let's talk about that #1 craft non-alcoholic beers that's now served at all home matches. Grab a cold one at the stadium today or visit athleticbrewing.com to find a store near you. Support the pioneers of great-tasting non-alcoholic beer and stay in the game with Athletic Brewing. I could have used a couple more NA beers yesterday during that USA game, let me tell you.
Yeah, same. Burgos Rice does a nice job delivering it, but Gabo's right there. Back in. Morgan can only hit Banks. Referee points to the spot. Oh, I got to be honest, that seemed more incidental than not.
Yeah,
but
it seemed like a 50-50 challenge that, on the replay, meh.
That's a tough one. I mean, they're both looking to play the ball, but Benedetto taken down by Banks. This is going to be an Edgewater Castle penalty. This, Andy, will be their first shot on goal if they make it on goal.
Well, are you trying to give them the announcer's jinx here?
I'm just spouting facts. That's what I'm doing here in the.
All right. Well, Sessler, let's see if he can earn another clean sheet here. He's got the sun in his eyes.
Borges Rice is going to step over the ball. That's who I choose too. He's been by far Edgewater Castle's best player. Yeah, Sessler with the sun. This is extremely difficult, especially this side of the field. Borges Reese, he buries it here in the 82nd minute. That's going to be a goal. Edgewater Castle. That's now 3 goals for Minneapolis City. 1 for Edgewater Castle. I mean, you got to give them credit. They have not shrunk from this. They haven't given up.
No, they've hung around.
You know, I'll be honest. You may call me a homer. Soft penalty for me when two guys going for the ball at the top corner of the
Yeah, I mean, as
penalty
penalties
box.
goes, maybe soft, but it did look like a penalty, as much as I'd hate to admit it.
And Burgos Reese makes no mistake. That was a perfectly taken penalty, and with none of that silly stutter step stuff that you've seen in the World Cup, he just buried it. I love it.
Let's see how City responds here. Let's see if we can close it out without giving another goal up. Maybe get one more, two more.
Two more would be great, you know, when it's 5-1. In honor of John Bisram, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to Taco Bell, Andy. That's what John does. Putting Benedetto under a little bit of pressure. Morgan Olsen, nice touch from Moreno. Moreno hacked down from behind by Alonso. The referee says play on.
Moreno gets it.
Moreno!
Oh, sir.
The citizens are as incensed, frankly, as I am, Andy. That was...
Yeah, I don't understand.
There's a lot of the same thing happening.
It just did not seem like there was a foul there.
Or if there were 7 fouls right before it.
Yes.
Citizen fans chanting, he fell over, which he may have done. I will tell you, one of the things we hear a lot about referees coming to Edor Nelson Field is because the fans are so loud, there's so many of them, that they love it, and it helps them kind of go up to professional ranks. In fact, we've had a number of referees from kind of the Northland, Minnesota, the Dakotas, Wisconsin, handball, Iowa, and even Illinois, who have used these League Two games in front of these fans as their stepping stone to the professional ranks. So it's not just players on their way up; it's referees too, and a lot of credit to them for taking all the stick that the fans give them.
Yeah, on the whole, I think the ref's done a nice job today. There's been a couple calls that I think in every game could have gone.
If you're not arguing with the referee, what are you doing?
Yeah, are you a fan?
Andy, there was a time we had some referees pretty regularly for city games back in the MPSL days, and I was out with my wife, and I saw them at JJ's Clubhouse in St. Louis Park, and I walked up, and I said, hey, ref, and later my wife Ann was like, why do you call him ref? Don't you know his name? I'm like, I mean, I do, but he's always a ref to me.
Yeah.
They were great referees, though. If the Twins are watching, or if you know them, you know who I'm talking about. I thought they did a fantastic job. But no, I'm not going to call them by their name.
I've had on an occasion where I've encountered a guy who used to ref MASL and MRSL games in the past, and then I was interacting with him in my professional life.
Oh, jeez!
And I was like, oh boy, this is this is not good. He's like, yeah, I remember you. I was like, sorry.
Ball goes wide to Sanchez. Niamway's going to be there in the end.
And no foul there. Interesting. Gets thrown down as he's shielding the ball out.
You know, sometimes you get late in these games with a big enough lead and it gets a little lenient. Oh, Van Mol stopped by Chiba in the end. He was getting up ahead of steam. Sanchez working on Niamway. Did a nice job to maintain possession as that ball is played by Benedetto.
Edgewater's getting a little frisky here.
You know, you've got nothing to lose right now if you're them. Why not? Why not get after it? Benedetto finds Schalik. Van Mol wins the throw-in. I thought Van Mol's put in a shift, and I've loved watching him. A ton of energy. Works hard both sides of the ball. Great acceleration. Almost looking for Banks, but Benedetto's there. And then Benj putting Chibu under some pressure. And now Samson. Nice stuff from Benj. And that's
Good win.
excellent from Banks. So Benj can't quite take advantage. Nice stuff from Banks. Sampson runs the ball out of bounds.
Well, Dan, we've got about 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left here in this game, plus stoppage time, of course. What are your biggest takeaways from what you've seen?
You know, I think that this is one of those games where, you know, if you're a City fan, you have to feel really good, not just about the guys who are in that starting 11, but everyone who's come on. There's not been a single player who's come on who hasn't looked like they can make a difference and they can deliver.
And the effort, the compete level has been there from all the players, too.
100%. We've seen, Ramos played into a ton of trouble. Sanchez wins it off of him. That was Gabo. He's making good step forward as he makes his debut. And that's what I'm going to say. We've also seen a guy making his first City appearance.
And I've been impressed with his short amount of time that he's been in the game. He looks very like a fluid player out there, smart player, makes good reads.
Great reading of the game. You know, the other thing I'd say, Andy, is just, you know, the variety. Keeping the ball, going direct, hitting the diagonals, short, long.
Ramos is moving forward here.
Ramos looks for Van Mol. Van Mol doing a nice job of keeping it in, working on Charlotte. One-on-one. Oh, he gets right past him. Lovely move. Fires! Over Galante, not too far over.
Ooh, that would have been nice.
Lovely move past his man.
Just brushed him aside.
The City fans are reminding everyone that they're winning, which you'd love to see. Van Mol, big tangle with Burgos Reese. Burgos Reese goes down in a clump, and Van Mol gets a yellow card here in the 90th minute. I got to be honest, that was a tangle, Andy.
Yeah, I would have maybe just blown the whistle and separated everyone. Let's just be on our way here.
I'm sure there's a referee assessor somewhere who's calling you an idiot, but how many times have you said that in your head to a referee? That's the best thing about the World Cup, I think, is you can say it in your head. You know most of the referees don't even speak your language, so they can't get mad at you.
I was watching the Paraguay and Turkey game last night, and I do believe one of the announcers criticized the referee in that game, and he said something to the effect of, like, CONCACAF's familiar with this guy, and we all know we all know those CONCACAF referees.
Well, here we are in extra time, Andy. We will hear shortly from the fourth official what we're looking at. Good. Just like that, we've got a minimum, Andy, a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time here.
Let's get one more City goal.
Morgan Olsen has Benj. Cuts the ball back. Van Molzer, who goes long. Oh, Nyamwe. Oh, he wanted that, but Banks didn't know he had behind him. So just about 3 minutes left, Andy, in this 3-1 Minneapolis City lead over Chicago's Edgewater Castle. Will Schmidt looks and almost finds Banks. They were teammates at Minnesota United's academy. That's a great thing about having so many local guys, and just, you know, some of the guys who've come in, you know, like Ramos, he played at Minnesota United, although he wasn't originally from Minnesota. It's those connections that allows the team to do things that, you know, in a short season you don't always see from other League Two teams. Nice little touch there, but couldn't quite come off.
Ramos. Look at, like, oh, just so cool.
Sanchez's buddies are going to be making that into a GIF and sending it to him whenever he does something dumb. Bench, good challenge. Van Mol, ooh. Touch lets him down in the end. Saw what he's trying to do to win a corner kick there. Can't quite do it. You're not going to get anything from the referee right now as the minutes tick down, and that's fair. Over Husney. Yeah, just clipped by Sanchez there. Well, Andy, unless something crazy happens in the next 90 seconds, this is going to be the 7th straight league win for Minneapolis City. This is the best since 2021 when the Crows won 10 straight to win the Mpls North Conference. And then partied too hard, lost a game, then won the next one just for fun. What a start from the Crows in what it looks like a very competitive Heartland division.
Yeah, no, it's very impressive, especially considering the teams in this conference, and already having that win against Sueño, the one time I believe they play them this year. So yeah, I think all the Crows fans, including myself, will be anxious to see, can they finish the conference season undefeated?
Absolutely. So next up for Minneapolis City is Wednesday. They welcome RKC Third Coast to Edor Nelson Field. That's always a tough game, kind of been a bogey team for them. And then they finished the season. We're talking just about home games.
Good ball.
Van Mol's played in.
Good ball, but she was there.
July 1st, they have St. Croix Legends, so Derby is very difficult. St. Croix's always been hard to play. And then a couple of away games in there, including right now, what's the last game of the season? In Chicago against Edgewater Castle. I said what is right now. We don't know when the rescheduled game against Rochester is going to be, so some question marks there. But all it's going to take is, well, if this holds, since we're in just a few seconds, it's going to take 6 points for City to make the playoffs. They're getting closer every game. And that's Minneapolis City 3, Edgewater Castle 1. Another City victory. Stick with us, Crows fans. We're going to take a little bit of break. We'll come back. We'll break it down fast. And then, hey, everyone go back to watching the World Cup.
Hey.
All right, City fans, here we are back at Edor Nelson Field with another 3 points for the Mighty Crows. That's Minneapolis City 3, Edgewater Castle from Chicago 1. And I'm here, Dan Hudeman, with my buddy and former teammate, Andy Delane. We saw some good goals. We saw some weird things. We saw some yellow cards. But as we break it down, it was a quick start from the Crows. We had a 7th-minute goal from Hakeem Morgan, a 9th-minute goal from Nathan Donovan. And then things started to change a little bit, but as we got to the restart, it was City again. And Nathan Donovan scoring in the 50th minute before there was a consolation goal from Rui Miguel Borges Reis. I'm sure I said that perfectly. In the 82nd minute with a penalty to finish it. Andy, interesting game, a fun game. Break it down for me.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing as a City fan, City supporter here is you like that you got the result that you wanted, right? I mean, it looked like early on we were going to get a very stylistic win. We're going to run away with it. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes and the types of goals. It looked like, okay, this may be, a long night for Edgewater. But to their credit, they kind of changed things from there. They kind of took a little bit of the control in the game towards the end of the first half. And then, but for Donovan's second goal, I mean, they looked a lot stronger in the second half. And so I think City overall, you're happy with the result. You're happy with the win. You played some good ball. Would have been nice to see it sustained a little bit more throughout the game. But we'll take it. We're undefeated. Not a lot to complain about. When you're undefeated, you win by 2 goals. And the only goal you concede is a penalty on maybe a weak penalty to begin with.
Oh, I think you're right. So that puts City with 7 wins to start the USL League 2 season. They've only conceded 3 goals in 7, have scored almost 30. And with Nathan Donovan's first and second goals, he equaled, and then he took the all-time club record for goals in a season. He now has 10. That beats Loic Massanvi, everyone's favorite young guy from the Futures. Great from Donovan, great from the team. Andy, I think you hit on something, though. If you're City fans, what you want and what you need, if you're City players, that intensity to finish the season. And, if I'm going to do our little World Cup comparison, I look at Holland. 2 early goals, sit back. 2 goals to start the half. That wasn't City. We had 1 to start, but still kind of sit back. Some of it's game state, but it's that focus. And with just a few games left, with not just playoffs, not just a division title, but division winners and the most points per game actually qualify for U.S. Open Cup. All these games are critical. And it's going to be important for City not to let things just drop for sloppiness, because it's only 8 slots across the whole over 140 team USL League 2 to qualify for U.S. Open Cup. The Crows want to be back there. Well, with that, we'll say goodbye for now. We'll see you back here on Wednesday as Minneapolis City take on RKC Third Coast here at Edor Nelson Field. I am Dan Hudeman. That is the Andy Delane. Thanks for being with us tonight, and we'll see you on Wednesday.